Culdesac City Council meeting for the month of June 2014. This is the second audio which contains clips of the council meetings for the months of March, April, and May for the reconsideration of their vote for the city dust abatement which happened in May. Starting with March.
Nobody else does dust? Does anybody else do this magnesium?
That was my question too, and I also had another question about it's only for the gravel roads and the dirt roads. Well, if we haven't maintained all of the gravel roads and dirt roads, it doesn't behoove every citizen in Culdesac to pay for something that not everybody gets the benefit for. So if we haven't maintained all of our gravel roads and we haven't maintained,
well, then you say other things that don't fit either.
that's just my opinion. If we haven't maintained them, then it doesn't help everybody if we don't maintain the roads.
Well, the other end, it keeps the dust down, whether you've got a paved road in front of you and you're over on the other side and the dust rolls down the street, you're going to have dust all over everything.
If it's on dirt, it goes away a lot faster than it is if it's gravel and it soaks into the gravel.
It's my understanding, I am new to this position, but it's my understanding on the gravel roads that it's a two-step process, that Boyer brings in gravel in the spring and puts it down, and then the dust abatement goes on top.
Yeah.
Is that correct from your?
Yeah, we fix the potholes and stuff in the spring, and then as soon as we got the roads ready, then they come in.
Boyer brings in gravel.
Well, yeah.
And then we try to get the dust abatement on. The timing of it is before shebang days for the town.
Does it make that much of a difference?
It does make quite a bit of difference for dust.
Yeah.
$6,000 worth for everybody though?
I know.
That's just my personal opinion.
Well, that is a wee bit of money.
Well,
I mean,
we
and
had,
literally, how long does it really last? I mean, once you apply it,
Every time it rains, you can see it come up, and
He puts another, does he do it 2 or 3 times? 2.
if like there was a couple years there where it rained right after they put it down, and they come back and put an additional one down at no cost, I believe.
if it rains right after
Right.
application.
I personally don't like it. It tracks in everywhere.
I don't like it either.
Do we want to
Oh,
try
yeah,
not
it tracks
doing
into
it?
the market, yeah.
My
It tracks
opinion
into the
would
house.
be try not doing it. There's $6,000 we could
Would
spend on
you?
road things differently.
Would you like me to try to do some research this month before the next meeting? Because we have time before they're scheduled to do it, if we confirm it, and see if there's anyone else out there that does this. I have no idea. And if we could get a lower bid.
Well,
Yeah.
the question was brought up, do we want to bag the idea of just whether or not? I'm mixed on it. I think it makes it more pleasant.
Should we put that on the next agenda, say yea or nay, or?
We still could
Do
get
it
it
now.
done by shebang days if we wait till the next meeting in March, right, or April.
It's April
Yep.
meeting, and so that
That'll be the
still
last
gives us
one.
2 months before June. And I do know that some people that live on roads with the gravel, they really appreciate the dust abatement. I've had calls that I've taken in City Hall where it rained right afterwards, and they say, are they gonna, come back? It didn't really take it, and it really helps on holding down the dust where they live. So we might have just
A lot
the
of pros, a
opposite.
lot of cons.
Yes, a lot of people show
I had a
up,
lot of people, like
you know.
Kathy said, a lot of people would say, right after they do that, even for the next two weeks, you step on that, they got nice carpet, you track it in your house, and you cannot get the stuff out of your carpet.
Well, I'm just curious, since we got this the largest audience, just what is the general feeling with the people here on the dust control? Do you like it or not? Who likes it? 1. Who doesn't like it? 1, 2, 3.
4,
Well, you
5.
guys live on paved road.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
They still decide.
I'm on the nay. I live on gravel. I'm on the nay.
I live on gravel and I don't like it. It gets all over my car, even on the outside, and it can eat up that paint.
And if you're gonna do it before shebang days, do it at least a week before, not a couple days before,
Yeah.
because it's terrible.
Yeah, because it's.
We had that
it's
one
huge.
problem, we made sure that didn't happen.
And it kind of tracks on the asphalt streets.
And all these people that have decent cars that come out here that have fun, you get in your car with that stuff on you, and it is just nasty.
And I think you're wasting your money putting it down on the side of the street, down on the paved roads. You're just wasting your money.
Well,
Let's do it
that's
on
the only place we do that is on Main Street,
Yeah,
because they
it's
have
ridiculous. It's a waste
because
of
that's where
money.
the dust is at.
Yeah, but
I
nobody
agree.
drives that.
I'm
It's
at
just for
100%
parking.
against-
Yeah, that's,
Can you check and see if anybody else does it?
that sounds like general consensus
We're
is
bringing back
that
in
nobody
Yeah.
really likes it, other than
I
one
just don't
person.
think, for $6,000.
I could
a lot
see
of money
on
for-
gravel roads, if you got the regularly traveled one, the main artillery one, but just on a back street,
All right. I'll think about it. We'll make a decision next.
You'll think about what?
About. But I'll ask more questions.
saying
see
think
people
about it. What are you thinking
Looks
about?
like not too many people like it.
Yeah, it would be good to ask
I'm
people.
There we
gonna try
go.
without it once.
Good idea, Bill,
You
thank
want-
you.
Huh?
It was a good idea to ask, thank you.
Yeah, it's nice to get some input from people. So
We have people to ask.
So
Business,
I like the idea is we make it somewhere in the June and watch if there's a storm coming in, we tell them we don't want it. If there's a storm,
Talk to the contractor
work it
that,
out,
it had-
where it's dark.
I thought it had to be wet to put it down.
It's supposed to soak in.
They soak it first.
Yeah, it soaks into the ground, but like I was saying on Bullpine Drive, when there's no gravel on it, that's like a pavement, but it's dust.
And just runs right off.
Yeah, and then it just runs right off. It doesn't
Right.
soak in.
So maintenance has to do their job first before they put the dust control down to begin with.
Yeah.
well, Boyer, we get our gravel from Boyer.
Boyer, yeah, so-
Yeah.
We need to
And
maintenance
so we have to
roads before we do
coordinate
the-
the delivery of the gravel.
with,
Okay, so we're gonna
With-
hold off, we'll hold off on the,
And the $4,500 estimate, that's the same stuff?
I will double check with them because I told him the two products. He gave me a lower quote on a product that comes from trees.
That's what
And-
we've been using, Teresa.
No, we've been using magnesium chloride.
Yeah, that's
And
terrible stuff.
we
too.
switched to the magnesium chloride because the city hall got so many complaints when the stuff that comes from trees was used. Now, I don't know because I'm just inheriting all this, okay? But maintenance did tell me that there were more complaints about the tree stuff. But if we used it, it was a lower quote. But then again, we're probably talking $120 lower quote. But it's still lower. It's getting closer to $4,000 than $6,000.
Well, which one worked best up there? Could you tell the difference between the sap and the?
Couldn't really tell.
Could
you
I think
tell
the
that you were-
magnesium chloride they put on, it's pretty corrosive stuff, really. I mean, if you have a boat, aluminum boat, you got mag wheels, you get that stuff on there, if you don't wash it off, it's
Yeah,
gonna ruin
it
it.
had some of that.
We heard that last month about people in their cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't we?
So we're danged if we do and danged if we
Yeah.
don't. Well,
Raise taxes and
the worst in town.
Okay, if you're interested on the information about the application from trees, I have,
Oh, that's what's the 4,500, that's why it was cheaper?
that was the magnesium, that was the chloride.
Oh.
But he was promoting, my contact at Lyman, the products made from tree because there's no chemicals, no solvents, no chlorides, no petroleum, no corrosion, no sulfates, no VOCs. It's easily cleaned up with soap and water.
What were they complaining about then, do you think?
In the past, I don't know.
Well, you used to get terrible stuff.
And it says,
Yeah, they're probably.
Tree sap is terrible. I don't understand what goes on around here.
it works good. It packs
it can
good.
stabilizes roads, making them water resistant and reducing mud and chuck holes. It can be applied to dry road beds, no need for water trucks. Reduces the need for frequent blading. One application only lasts the summer season. It's non-corrosive like the other dust suppressants, which is magnesium chloride that we've been using the
Doesn't
past
that
few
magnesium
years.
chloride, after a while, doesn't it require moisture? It takes the moisture. Because because I've noticed if you have a dew a heavy dew, then the oil or then the dust stuff is better. But if
Yeah, it
it's
looks
dry
like it.
and in the hot winter and we don't get any dew or anything, it's really it doesn't work. So I don't know if that has anything to do with it or not. But
So that's kind of why you're kind of doing what you're doing anyway, because it's so hot and so dry to begin with through the dust season of summer that what do you do? Take a hose out there and put it in the house?
that's exactly what we do.
That's
That's exactly what we do.
Go out there with the hose all the time.
That's
They've got
exactly what
schedules
we
and
do.
you
I've
call
set a
and get it.
sprinkler out there before
That
because
might
it's
be
so
something like that.
it's so
Yeah.
dusty.
And one of
See
those
if we
meters
can do it
goes
in
by, we
72
get that
hours or something.
bonus.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a lot of
Do we
those.
want magnesium or sap?
It should be cheaper going sap.
Yeah.
I like the idea it's not
keep record
corrosive.
of it, see what the complaints are after.
We already know what the other thing does.
Neither is a good anything that controls.
The only
dust
thing
will
with
help.
the sap,
Like,
until it dries, it's sticky.
And that might have been the complaints,
That was the complaint we
walking
had
on
in
it.
1 year.
But
was
once
that-
it dries on the road, it does hold it. They use them on logging roads all the time. And it just, until the big rain starts in the fall, it's just like driving on pavement.
well, where I live on Bullpine Drive, as the hill comes down, every time it rains or anytime he puts that stuff on so heavy, it doesn't just stay on the road surface. It runs right down my driveway into right where we park our car, puddles up on the side of the shop. I got to deal with it. Can't add more water now. It's so wet it won't soak in. You have water, it just builds a puddle until the ground dries up. So kind of got a drainage problem for when he starts. When he applies it, he applies a lot more than I
Is there any way that can be cut back to where it tilts the other way?
Well, there's no borrow pit on the other side for the water either, or a culvert under the uphill driveways. It's kind of a
Those culverts that are on that road, they ain't even being used anyway. The water just runs right down the road.
Yeah,
You know,
and that problem over by mine.
and then it gets right down there by the main road, and it just goes right across Bullpine Drive and then out into the road. You know, there's no drainage for it to go down or anything.
I'll go and talk to you about that culvert idea. I think we should try the sap
Yes.
and this time and see if everybody gives us input, more the better.
Yeah, if he gets it going so that it's actually running off the sides of the road, maybe you should let it set and go put another coat on and come back by that spot later after it has it.
Yeah, we'll work with them this time. Well, let's try. Should we try the new?
So we need a
the first of June.
Try the new company and get
Table
them to
this
follow
till
our rules. Oh, sorry.
Let's table this till next meeting, we'll look into it, and we'll move on.
I'll get some further information then about scheduling and applying and report back.
And
But
the
it looks,
amount of application.
but it looks like the council is leaning towards investigating the SAP from Lyman. And I'll narrow my search to that.
So if we do SAP this year, will you guys let us know? Which
Give
you
us
think
a
is the
report
better?
back.
Because I don't live up there, so I
Yeah.
can't. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
And,
yeah.
but you're saying July, not,
Yeah, right around the first.
First part of July.
We still have May and June.
yeah.
meetings.
And that's what we need. We need you to come tell us what you want.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. July.
Right.
Now, beginning May,
We pretty well covered the dust abatement.
Well, we need to make a decision on the new bids that I gave you. I was asked to check with the companies that have given us dust abatement quotes.
Good luck.
And I received back answers to our questions from Roadwise, the company we've used for many years, and Lyman Dust Control. Last meeting, we were leaning towards using the tree product, and so Lyman Dust Control, the first page is their information in answering our questions on how they apply the type of product and warranty and payment options. And then they also gave us a quote for the magnesium chloride
which we have been using for the past several years, and answered those questions also.
Well, they really didn't answer them 100% though, because we have to give them how this, we have to give them the square footage or yards.
This
Otherwise, we
has
can't give
been,
them it.
this is how we have started with this new company. Since they don't know all the streets, they have been asking for the square yards or square feet of what's going to be applied. They are basing their quote on the amount of gallons that were applied by our past company last year.
We don't
And,
have that in this though.
It was in the prior quote.
It's not in this.
This is answering your question. It's been in the packet that you got last month. It has the prior quote, and it is 69 cents per gallon for the Ligno tree product with a 6,000 gallon minimum, and we used 6,457.5 gallons last year.
Is that what they're going to give us though?
We don't know. Now, what Mayor Robert Sharp said, and I have told this company, that we are not going out and measuring the square footages of our road, but they are welcome to come to our town, and we would show them what is being covered.
Right.
And Roadwise already has it all on their GPS, so they know every road and which one to do it on.
So then we should be able to have a general dollar figure then, instead of saying 74 cents a gallon.
What's, you got a gallon figure for roadwise?
What we used last year.
But we don't have a dollar figure.
And the other thing that I'd like to...
We don't have a dollar figure.
Yeah, it was in the
If
packet
we're making
we
a
got
decision
before
on this, we don't have a dollar figure.
We had it in the packet before this.
We don't have a dollar figure. There's not been a dollar figure announced.
So much per gallon.
No, see, that's per gallon. You don't know how much is gonna be applied.
Don't know that till they're on the GPS.
Right, but we do know with the other one, the ones we've used previously,
Right,
we already
we
have
have
a dollar
a dollar
figure.
amount.
We also know the
So we
gallons they
need,
used.
right, so we need a dollar figure from them.
So we go.
Because it'd be a guesstimate, it's like having an estimate.
And they're not giving it, they won't be giving us a dollar figure. Roadwise, we've used them for...
Well, let's continue with the dust abatement.
There you
Get it? There's an order on the
Bill, you
floor.
made a motion.
I want to stick with the magnesium. It sounds more logical for me. The other stuff, I did not like the brown stuff. We were kind of enthused by it at one time. I want to stick with magnesium, and I say we just go with the people we went with. We do some consideration with the parts of Main Street. If the Dells doesn't want it, we'll skip their side of the street. How's that sound?
So you're making a motion?
No, that we go with start with a program to set up for July with except maybe a few less areas. We use the 6,000 gallon. Have we gone over the 6,000?
No,
Minimum? You know?
we have not.
We have not, so we're obligated to use 6,000 gallons anyway.
Well, we have the quote. The quote is for
Right, so I say we go with that.
$5,970, except the quote for the bid from Roadwise.
Right, and the other, yeah, and the other one is gonna have probably the same minimum. So I move we go with the roadwise one, but we figure out where we could use it in other areas, ballpark or something, or if we have extra, we don't use downtown. We'll figure that out as we run. That could be up to the maintenance.
It wouldn't be that much.
It wouldn't be that much, just a
Yeah.
couple hundred gallons probably.
Yeah, if that.
Okay, is that a motion clear?
Is there a second?
I'm not going to, I told you, I've been against it all along.
I'm against it myself, so.
Are you really?
You don't want to bait me?
Huh?
Maybe
It's a mess. I'm not gonna vote against it. You guys go ahead and do it, you know.
you don't get a second out of me.
Well, then we won't have a majority, will we?
I said I'm not gonna vote against it. I'm not
I'll
gonna-
go ahead and second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Nay.
Motion carried.
You don't want it by your house?
No.
Okay, well, what we need to do is start getting these no areas.
We've got
Well, the one meeting was no's, and then last meeting was yes.
You've got all those people up on the,
You're not gonna please
hill
everybody.
that wants it.
And remember, we had the biggest turnout ever when we announced we were thinking
We're
of
not.
dropping it. So
That's true.
It's important for the road integrity. Okay, let's